You know that feeling? Staring at complex financial stuff,
Yeah.
just wishing someone could cut through it all, get straight to the important bits, maybe the surprising facts, without the jargon overload.
Yeah, wanting to be genuinely informed, but, well, quickly.
Exactly. Well, if that sounds like you, you're definitely in the right place today. We are doing a deep dive into the world of Roth IRAs. And look, this isn't just some standard savings account.
Oh, definitely not. It's a really powerful tool for, long-term financial planning.
Right. And our mission here is to basically cut through the noise. We've looked at the sources, the research, and we want to pull out the really key nuggets for you
Help you understand the core benefits to see if it actually fits with your goals.
without getting totally bogged down. So, okay, let's unpack this. At its heart, the Roth IRA, it works on a pretty simple idea, but one with huge impact. You pay your taxes now.
And then you get the benefits later on.
Exactly.
You're funding it with money that, well, you've already paid income tax on, after-tax dollars.
And this is where it gets really interesting, strategically speaking. It's what makes it so different from, say, a traditional IRA.
Totally different.
Because you paid that tax up front on the Roth money when you get to retirement, assuming it's a qualified withdrawal. Every single dollar.
Completely tax-free, zero tax. Think about that.
Compare that to the traditional IRA. You might get a tax break now, a deduction.
Which feels good in the moment.
Right. But then every dollar you pull out later in retirement gets taxed as income.
Precisely. And that tax-free growth and withdrawals point for the Roth, it's not just a nice to have, it's absolutely foundational.
Foundational. Good word.
Yeah. Every bit of growth, every dividend, every capital gain inside that Roth, it grows completely sheltered from taxes year after year.
Wow.
And then, like you said, hit age 59 and a half, make sure the account's been open at least 5 years. Boom.
Yeah.
Tax-free distributions.
So if you think you might be earning more later or just be in a higher tax bracket when you retire,
This becomes incredibly powerful. Financial experts really highlight this. You're essentially locking in today's tax rate on that money forever.
that kind of certainty about taxes down the road, that sounds incredibly appealing, really reassuring.
It is.
But, okay, beyond that initial tax advantage, what else makes the Roth stand out? Especially thinking long term. What about something people worry about,
Uh-huh.
being forced to take money out, those required withdrawals?
RMDs, required minimum distributions.
Yeah, what's fascinating here, and it's a unique edge for the Roth, is they just don't have them. Not during your lifetime anyway.
So unlike a traditional IRA where you generally have to start taking money out around age 73.
Right, the government wants its tax revenue eventually from those traditional accounts, but with a Roth, since the tax is already paid, nope, no RMDs for the original owner.
Meaning your money can just keep growing, compounding tax-free.
For as long as you want it to. Potentially decades longer. Completely unrestricted growth, fully under your control. Imagine that compounding power. Okay, tax-free growth, no RMDs for you.
Yeah.
That's huge for the long haul. But what about, life happens. What about needing access sooner? Retirement savings often feels so locked up.
Yeah, that's a common feeling. And this is where the Roth IRA genuinely surprises a lot of people. It's got this built-in flexibility.
Flexibility, how so?
Well, the money you actually put in your original contributions, not the earnings, you can pull those out anytime.
Anytime, without taxes or penalties.
Anytime, any reason, no taxes, no penalties on those contributions. It makes it, well, a surprisingly versatile sort of safety net.
That's really different for a retirement account.
It is. Plus, there's no age limit for contributing. As long as you have earned income, you can keep putting money into a Roth IRA. Doesn't matter if you're 25 or 75.
So it's adaptable, long-term growth, but also this kind of emergency access layer almost.
Exactly. It can sort of blend those roles, maybe even supplement an emergency fund for some people, though you primarily want it for retirement.
That flexibility angle is definitely unique. Okay, thinking even further out now, beyond your own retirement. What about legacy? Leaving something behind.
Right. If we connect this to the bigger picture, estate planning. Roth IRAs offer a really significant advantage there too, a tax advantage.
How does that work for heirs?
Well, you name beneficiaries, right? And when they inherit your Roth IRA, assuming the account meets that 5-year rule again, they can generally take distributions completely tax-free.
So the tax-free benefit passes on.
It does. It means you're not just saving for yourself, you're potentially building a tax-free inheritance. Your wealth can keep benefiting your family for years without them facing a big tax bill on it.
Okay, wow. So we've got the core idea, pay tax now. We've got tax-free growth and withdrawals, no RMDs for the owner. That surprising flexibility with contributions, and now this legacy tax-free inheritance piece. That is a lot of pluses.
It really stacks up.
But, I mean, with all these powerful features, how do you, listening right now, figure out if a Roth is genuinely the best choice for your specific situation, your finances?
Yeah, that's the key question. Ultimately, a Roth IRA often makes the most sense if you think, hey, I'll probably be in a higher tax bracket when I retire than I am now.
Pay the tax while your rate is lower.
Exactly. Or if your main goal is just having purely tax-free income in retirement, that predictability is huge for budgeting.
And the flexibility.
If having penalty-free access to your contributions is important, maybe for peace of mind, that's a strong pull. And like we just discussed, if leaving that tax-free inheritance is a big priority.
Then the Roth is a really strong contender.
Definitely one of the most effective tools out there for that specific goal.
Okay. Now, as good as all this sounds, it's not always simple, right? There are some rules, some thresholds we need to be aware of. Specifically, income limits. Can everyone just open and contribute directly to a Roth?
Ah, good point. No, not everyone. There are income limits for direct contributions. For 2025, these are important numbers to know.
Okay, what are they?
For single filers, the ability to contribute starts phasing out if your modified adjusted gross income, your MAGI, is between $146,000 and $161,000.
And for couples?
For married couples filing jointly, that phase-out range is higher. It's $230,000 up to $240,000. If your income is above the top end of that range, you can't contribute directly for that year.
So you really need to know your income level. Getting that wrong could mean penalties.
Absolutely. It's crucial to check those limits each year as they can adjust.
Okay, but what if your income is above those limits? Is the Roth door just slammed shut then? Or is there another way in?
Not necessarily slam shut. For people whose income is too high for direct contributions, there's a well-known strategy, often called the backdoor Roth IRA.
Backdoor Roth. Sounds intriguing. How does that work?
It's basically a two-step process. First, you make a contribution to a traditional IRA. Critically, this contribution is non-deductible because your income is too high to deduct it.
Okay, so money goes into a traditional IRA, no tax deduction. Then what?
Then, pretty quickly afterwards, you convert that traditional IRA to a Roth IRA. Since you didn't take a deduction on the contribution, there's usually little to no tax due on the conversion itself, assuming it's done right, and you don't have other pre-tax IRA money.
Ah, so it's like a workaround. You end up with money in the Roth even though your income was technically too high to put it there directly.
Exactly. It's a way to bypass those direct contribution limits. Perfectly legal, very common strategy for higher earners.
Fascinating. Okay, that backdoor idea, it brings up another question. What if you already have a traditional IRA, maybe one you've had for years, full of pre-tax money from rollovers or deductible contributions, and now you're hearing all this and thinking, man, I wish that was Roth money.
Yeah, can you switch it?
Can you hit that switch? Convert existing traditional IRA funds.
You absolutely can. This is called a Roth conversion. You can convert funds from a traditional IRA or even sometimes a 401k into a Roth IRA. Anytime, really.
Okay, but there's a catch, right? Tax-wise.
There is, and it's a big one to understand. When you convert pre-tax money from a traditional IRA to a Roth, you have to pay income tax on the entire amount you convert.
So you're basically pulling that future tax bill into the present day.
Precisely. You pay the tax in the year you do the conversion, but the strategic payoff is huge. Once that money's in the Roth, it grows tax-free from then on, and qualified withdrawals in retirement are tax-free. Again, that 5-year rule applies to conversions too for withdrawing the converted amount penalty-free before 59.5.
So why would someone choose to take that tax hit now?
Several reasons. Maybe you're in a temporarily lower income year, so the tax bite isn't as bad. Or maybe you strongly believe tax rates are going up in the future, so you'd rather pay at today's rate.
Or you just really want to avoid those RMDs on the traditional money down the line.
Exactly. Get rid of future RMDs. It's all about strategically managing your lifetime tax liability. A calculated move.
Wow. Okay, so as we sort of wrap up this deep dive, it's just abundantly clear, isn't it, that Roth IRA is this incredibly flexible, really powerful tool.
Definitely. For building that long-term financial security.
It offers these significant tax advantages, gives you a surprising amount of control, tax-free growth, getting your contributions back if needed, no RMDs for you.
And even those robust estate planning benefits we talked about, passing wealth on tax-free.
It covers a lot of ground. So we really hope this conversation prompts you to, Take a moment, think about your own situation.
Yeah, where are you now financially? Where do you realistically see yourself tax bracket-wise in retirement?
So maybe the question to ponder is, what aspect of your financial future could benefit most from knowing, like really knowing, what your tax situation will be in retirement?
And flipping that around, how might your long-term planning change if you factor in that possibility of completely tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals, potentially for the rest of your life?